It's hard to have bad records when next one drop. It is. It's as easy to have bad records. Like if 3-0-1 drops is a bad record. Let me keep this. But we're currently 3-1 drop 4-1 with this deck today. It's 7-2. It's a very good record. I don't understand the comment, I guess. I don't like to talk about ratings. I still do a lot of brewing. Oh, inverter. I do a lot of brewing off stream, and usually when people ask about my record, they're just trying to brag about theirs. You can't 2-3, 1-3. But you just count the overall wins and losses. It's the same thing. I don't understand. Why I don't know why it's different. Delay? Pff, wow. Awesome. Into Wasteland Strangler. Amazing. Alright, let's go to game 2. Off it. Off it. Awesome though. Imagine if that was for the 5-0. Got processored to death. Well, if you still wear a Blood Moon deck, so people have been saying that other white fetches are better, but like your mana's pretty good. So I think that the fact that if you want a red source with non-Arid Mesa red fetches, the fact that you have to get a shock land when your mana's pretty good, I think you'd rather just get a basic instead. Is kind of my thinking. Not 100% sure, but I think that the logic tracks. We're getting Stranglered again. I think it Sophie. Yeah, X1 dropping, yeah, it does reduce your win rate because you only play against harder opponents. That's absolutely true. It's like we played the Lutri deck, we played out a couple leagues of that. They took Solitude? What? Why? Except Dismember? Yeah, but when we were playing out leagues of the Lutri decks, our quality of opponents dropped a little bit. Maybe they didn't read Fervent Champion? Pop, in 2 months, been playing a lot of Jeskai Murktide. I was wondering if there was a reason for Jeskai seeing a lot less play than Isn't Murktide. Feels like Ending is a better edge in most matchups instead of Blood Moon. Thoughts? I've played a lot of Jeskai Murktide too. I've been liking blue-red with Fury a lot lately. So there's obviously like, you know, strengths and weaknesses to both variants, but Exile. Oh, put 2 cards. Sorry, I misremembered Blightherder. But has Blightherder finally met its match in Modern, with Fury entering the format? I guess not. I am going to just get rid of both of these guys and get in. What are you going to do, Beseiju? I'm not a big fan of the design, but it is good. I'm also going to try to draw a land so I can Blood Moon here. The card will be good in Modern for sure, but I think it's not super well designed. Oh, dude, the processors are good against the pitch elementals. I put cards in exile for them. Yeah, Blightherder just classic 4 for 1. Very strong card. Okay, they get to processor, kill my Fervent Champ. Yeah, the new Unclaimed territory is cool for sure. Okay, thought not seer is interesting. Probably pretty forced to take Blood Moon, right? They've got a relic. So they immediately pop to try to hit their land drop. They do hit a land drop in Urborg. So I can put in Sword of Fire Ice, equip to Ragavan, trade. I can also Ranger Captain for Fervent Champion, equip Sword of Fire Ice to Fervent Champion, put them to 2, hit them with Ragavan. Seems not as good as trading here. I guess I could have also just moved the sword over. It's maybe a bit better because I could do something else with my mana. But I kind of like just keeping this in play, equipped here. So they have another Strangler, but they can't quite strangle my Stoneforge. I guess they could have double Wasteland Strangler. That would be pretty absurd, but it seems that they do not. Yeah, here let's just get Fervent Champ. Attack with 2. Oh, they have Ulamog's Nullifier! Oh, man. I love Ulamog's Nullifier. I have a huge soft spot for Ulamog's Nullifier. Devoid, relevant mechanic. All these years later, Wizards knew what they were doing the whole time. Urborg, Ashiok, Nambo. Let's draw a card first. Not a ton of relevant cards we could even draw, though. Jump block with the Nullifier. They've got no cards in their hand, but they can pop the Relic to start their turn next turn with 2 fresh ones. Which they do. One of them was Darkslick Shore, probably worst card in their deck. I'll play and equip this. I imagine they have some black removal in their deck, so getting protection for black on this is relevant. They could have removal in response. Seems like they don't. They do still have colorless creatures in their deck. Blightherder would be tough to beat. Drowner of Hope. They don't have it. We win game 2. Maybe Prismatic Ending to exile Relic is better than Wear Tear, just because it like snags it on the draw. Wasn't sure exactly what they were doing. We play the Batterskull, play the Maul. Actually, just play 1 ending. Just try to win in combat. I kind of thought that they were maybe more like an inverter deck. They might still be playing inverter. Like I feel like inverter plays probably pretty well with the rest of their strategy. Okay, let's keep this. Kerbros with the gifted sub. Thanks, buddy. Opponents also had 7-card Eldrazi Temple Relic hands all 3 games, which is, I think, exactly the hand you want like every single time, right? Pretty good. Could grab Kaldra, could grab sort of Feast and Famine, could grab Maul of the Skyclaves. I kind of like Maul of the Skyclaves, so my Fervent Champion doesn't get stuck on the ground. A little draw land, sort of Fire Ice the Champion. So they played their Watery Grave untapped. They obviously have something. That something is almost definitely Ulamog's Nullifier. Do I run the champion into Nullifier? I don't think so. Did not think I'd be actively playing around Ulamog's Nullifier when I woke up this morning. I didn't think that was going to be part of my day. Isn't it 4 mana? Temple makes pays for 2 of the mana. Get a Fatal Push here. It's not that big of a deal, I think. Attack, attack, attack. Put the Ashok to 1, even if they have Fatal Push, and I kill it if they don't. I think Ashok's worth killing. About Ranger-Captain in hand, Stoneforge Mystic in the deck, obviously. So they basically for sure have Ulamog's Nullifier, 3 other cards in hand. What's nice is even if they have a card like Blight Herder here or another blocker, we can put the Maul on the Fervent Champion. They've also already used 2 pieces of spot removal, and I have a hard time imagining they just have a ton of spot removal in their deck. Although that is some. If I attack with the Fervent Champion, they can eat it with Nullifier, I guess. So I'll just attack like this. If they want to chump block, that's fine. I think this deck will eventually evolve into Naya, having access to Broken Ancestral Katana plus Jade Avenger. Maybe. I was kind of thinking that this deck may be Naya for like Eldarmer's Call, Toski, and Endurance. Other like Gaddock Teague too is also like a card you'd play in the sideboard. Might play not Collector Oof. Jamoka's Command is kind of a card I like in these kind of decks. Probably not. Most of my drafts don't have Jamoka's Command in it, but some of them admittedly do. Some of my drafts have Jamoka's Command, if I'm being honest. Alright. Defeated the Processor deck. Yasharn? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not huge on the Sharn, but it is an option. Hand's very close. I think we'll send it back. Better hand, gonna keep, of course. Wait, Amaz is lights? I guess I've never seen Amaz and lights in the same place at the same time before. Oh, we're playing against Amaz. I just thought they were in chat. Very cool. Is Amaz streaming right now or just playing some Magic offline? Island Bob will go, probably playing Murktide. I think Fervent Champion here. There's obviously like... Oh, no, I was probably supposed to cast the sword instead this turn, actually. Mistake. We only have 62 trophies right now. We just lost playing for 63, actually. We are doing pretty well. Graveyard's Prismari Command off Consider. So it could be a Flex Spot on Murktide. Could be something else. Yeah, I was really supposed to cast Sword that last turn. Let's see how punished I get. Main phase, fetch Shock with Steam Vents. Ill-fated, thank you for the 6 months. Appreciate you, buddy. These sub-adversaries put so much pressure on to say something. I'm just trying to chill. Yeah, I barely... I almost never say anything, to be honest. On my sub-adversaries. So actually, if they block Ragavan on Ragavan, which they will do, but I get to first strike kill their Ragavan. So I have a free attack, but it doesn't really accomplish almost anything. And then it's pretty good to have the Sword of Fire and Ice equipped against the blue-red deck. I guess I could let this back to block their Ragavan. Yeah, maybe it wasn't that free, huh? Exiles Ragavan to iteration, concedes. Yeah, the Murktide matchup's been pretty good. And it's also like, you can win game 1 pretty easily, but the matchup gets a lot better in sideboard games. It's like the matchup's like evens, maybe slightly favorable for you game 1, and then like side games 2 and 3 is the nightmare for Murktide. You can still lose, of course. Yeah, I think we are 7-2. We might be 7-3. No, we're 8-2 or 8-3 on the day with this deck. It's been going pretty well. Yeah, Giant Killer is pretty cool tech. I forgot about it. It's something we've done in the past, but someone else reminded me of it when we were building this list. Someone in chat. Anybody want to take credit for it? I played some Painter Servant Lightcaster built a long time ago. Realized a good painter is Sanctifier and Vec. It's pretty cool. Okay, not a great hand, but definitely a hand I think you're fine keeping on the draw in this matchup. With double planes and like one mountain here, we definitely want to lead on ending, so we can go ideally ending into ending Ragavan. Instead, if we play Ragavan on turn 1, we can't double ending on turn 2 and can fall potentially a little too far behind on the draw here. I think we'd go for the dash. My hand's pretty mana hungry. Naturally drawing Batterskull and Kaldra, always a bit awkward. Ranger-Captain for Lava Bancer would be sweet. It would be sweet, be also like, you know, pretty slow, but I can't deny that it would be sweet. Wow, it connects. Take the consider. We already have a Ranger-Captain in the hand. I think I'll graveyard that. Not like super clear that that's correct though. Seems fine at least. Or are we cutting Mauls and worse the rest of our cards? Yeah, that's the idea. There have been some times I've wanted to tutor Maul in this matchup, but I do typically not like it a lot against like the decks with a lot of cheap red removal spells, so I like to cut it in this matchup. Ooh, Sentinel. See if this gets cast. Does get cast. Plays Canal. 5 cards in hand after Ragavan comes back to hand here. So I can play double 1-drop. I can't because I don't have another mountain. So it's easy Ranger-Captain for Forge-Tender here. I discovered Damping Sphere Blue Red is OP. You might have to cite your sources. I've been Damping Sphered as Blue-Red Murktide and felt like the card does like almost nothing. You'll have to show me your case study. Main phase draw 2. Man of Culture. I like that draw because we were a little cold to Murktide region here. I think I'm ending the Esper Sentinel. Playing Forge-Tender, playing Ragavan, attacking for 3. Guess I'll attack for 3 first. Source Historic Andy. Fair enough. Yeah, Modern is not something I'm a big fan of. Six card in hand. What, keep Kaldra over the captain? Did I thought I naturally drew Kaldra for turn. For one of these turns. Or I kept 7 cards. And when I graveyarded the captain off of Consider. Am I misremembering something? No, we know our opponent. Unless Samaz uses they, them pronouns. I was under the impression that he uses he, him. But if you know our opponent, it's fine to use their pronouns. I kept 7 with Kaldra? Yeah. Then, yeah, I didn't have a choice there, right? You bend Captain, drew the Vista off the Consider. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there was never a choice of Kaldra over Captain, right? Yeah, okay, cool. There's a little confusion. Easy to get confused over here on twitch.tv/aspiring spike. I don't even think I sack this here. I think I just keep the pro-red creature, actually. Land for Batterskull would be a great draw. Hard to feel too bad about this one, though. Javier! There's not a Boseiju command, but the card is good. That's pretty good too. So no attacks, I imagine, from the Fury. Put 4 cards in hand. My first impression, new spoilers. Lots of cards that seem like they've got a chance in Modern. Pretty excited. Kamogha was looking more powerful than I first give it credit for. I guess we didn't have like that much to go on before. I guess we had a handful of spoilers. But yeah, it's looking pretty powerful so far, I agree. Think Wandering Emperor has a chance in Modern? Maybe, yeah. I think the card's very powerful. I think it'd be really fun in Cube. No, Fortune deals... Wait, hold on. Prevent all damage... Yeah. Fortune prevents all damage you would deal this turn. So I would take 0 if they attack here with the Fury. Exiled the Steam Vents but plays Flooded Strand instead. And Shocks. Maybe has Spell Pierce here. Kind of hard to play around. I'm going to play the Batterskull. They got Spell Pierce, they got Spell Pierce. No Spell Pierce, thankfully. Second iteration, though. Goblin Samurai is exciting for me? Hell yeah. Actually, I played a 4-year-long D. Me and my friends finished a 4-year-long D&D campaign recently, and one of our I guess they weren't a samurai. They were a knight, a goblin knight. So no delirium anymore, which means I should be able to get in with Batterskull, which is lethal. So Amaz is going to realize that he's dead, I think. Attack, and I'm just not going to block and win, I think is what's about to happen. Could be wrong. Could be wrong, he said, knowing that he's probably not wrong. Was wrong. But thankfully has the giant killer, huh? Oh, and then the sword kills him. I forgot the sword still triggers. Chopped down. Chopped down. Awesome killer. GG's to you earlier. Okay, let's keep this. We're playing against a Luris deck. So I think I just have to put Solitude back on the mulligan here. Will I cosplay my preview card on Saturday? You have to tune in on Saturday to find out. It's just a question of best shell for Ojitai? Maybe Jeskai Lotus Field. Because you can kind of get away with just casting big goofy stuff in that deck. I know that Fervent Champion has first strike for Ragavan, but with the Sword of Fire and Ice in hand, my Fervent Champion is a better 1-drop. So I think I think that my creature is very likely to die here. So I think I just want to have Ragavan be the card that dies instead of Fervent Champ. Saturday when? I'm not sure. So I'm gonna stream the challenge on Saturday, and I will reveal it at some point during then. How does this work? Yeah, just post a link in chat, Blue Shift. I'll take a look. Sometimes people DM me while I'm streaming because they think I can see my DMs. I can't. Not that I would check them anyways while I'm streaming. But I don't have them open. I never check my Twitch DMs anyways. Twitch DMs are a barbaric way of communicating. Mardu Mentor, very cool title. Channeler, Kroxa, Merchant of the Veil, Mentor, Spyro, 4 on Earth, 4 Heat, 4 Bauble. I will say that I really think that you want to play 4 Thoughtseize before any Inquisitions. There's so many cards that Thoughtseize hits that Inquisition misses, unfortunately. So that's one advice I have for you. Pretty good Inquisition here, though. The list looks solid. I will say that I feel like generally that Merchant of Eos is a somewhat underpowered card, but I'm interested to see how it performs here. I'm not like saying that you should cut it, but I am saying that it's a little underpowered. I might play the 4th ending over the 4th heat, and I might not. Just something to think about. Yeah, I think as far as the main deck goes, the only like changes I really recommend are. Oh, sorry. You're gonna hate me saying this, but you probably should put some Ragavans in the deck. Oh, whoops. Yeah, you probably should put some Ragavans in the deck. If you don't want to, if you could just ignore me if you don't want to. Maybe you actually, I don't know. It's maybe fine without them. Yeah, Ragavan over Merchants maybe just the way to go. I do have to draw something here. We can't be Ranger-Captain. Can't be Hardcast Solitude either. Don't have that much time. There we go. Probably a win. I think I should get... Maybe... Do I get Sword of Fire Ice, actually? Maybe I get Batterskull. Because if I get Sword of Fire Ice, yeah, I get to draw some cards and stuff, but... Like, this isn't really a game about cards anymore. I think this is a game about not dying to this single channeler. I don't like Cabal. Yeah, sorry. Cabal's not a card I think is, like, really playable in Modern anymore. I'm not sure. That just needs to get out of here. I think that you're probably, like, a little too focused on, oh, this card works with Unearth, but it is pretty underpowered, unfortunately. So they can heat if they have heat. Great. Okay, that's probably game over. Okay, so I would probably play Ragavan over Merchant. If you don't want to play Ragavan by Ragavan, that's fine. Merchant will be fine. Maybe swap the numbers on heat ending. Maybe not. I would recommend just doing a lot of playtesting to see what you feel about that. Swap the numbers on Thoughtseize Inquisition is something I really recommend. As far as the sideboard goes, it looks like pretty solid, except for these Cabals, which I think are just straight up stone cold unplayable. I'm trying to. The sideboard doesn't seem like it's lacking anything super hard. Maybe you want Deflecting Palm or Pithing Needle for Belcher. That I could see that being a very problematic matchup, but I guess I just leave this in hand for like Kroxa or the ability to Stoneforge reset Batterskull. Okay, those are my thoughts. Good luck to you. Very cool list. Also, I'll say mana base looks fine. Attack with both for +1 life. Well, they could block the other one with the other channeler. I don't think I'm supposed to just throw away a Fervent Champion for 1 life on this board. Okay, so this plays around Unholy Heat. Oh, no, it doesn't, actually. Because I don't have another white mana. Okay, but they don't have the Unholy Heat, thankfully. Go to an Argentine Armor. Very, very good suggestions. We'll note those for sure. Alright. Very similar to the Murktide matchup, which we just played. Winning game 1 is a very big deal, because the matchup gets even better post-board. This has been my sideboard plan against Murktide. If you're interested in finding this sideboard plan and a lot of other sideboard plans, I finished writing a deck guide for Channel Fireball. You can find that there. Just play CEDH, okay. Deal. Maybe Blossom Common sideboard. We already have Forge-Tender is a better sideboard card against Burn in this deck, I think, because you have Ranger-Captain to tutor it. I don't know. It's also more versatile. Why just 2 and not 3? Rip versus Blue Red Merc. It can be awkward to draw multiples. Sorry, against Merc, I think I do usually bring in the 3rd rip. Yeah, I guess so. A sideboard's slightly different between Grixis Shadow and Murktide, which you can find in the deck guide. But against Grixis, I want Blood Moons. I don't want Blood Moons against Murktide. So against Blood Moons, I also have the Giant Killer and the Rest in Peace over these 2 Blood Moons. Now, I bring in 2 rip against Grixis. It can be awkward to draw multiples. And it can be awkward, like, to draw, like, multiple Rest in Peace and Blood Moon and just fall 2 behind early. Mulligan. Keep. Put back Sunbaked Canyon. Sentinel is usually the best play to start on against Shadow. Obviously, if they turn on Ragavan, it gets a little bit worse. They do have the turn 1 Ragavan. We draw a Prismatic. I guess maybe I should have played that instead. Hoots, thank you for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, it might be one of those games that Ragavan runs us over. Is what it is. Would love to draw that one. Thanks, Ragavan. Alright, I'm not going to concede here. Just play it out, but we're probably going to have to settle this in game 3. Probably going to have to settle this in game 3. Does Godo win the game in Modern too, or do you need multiple opponents for Helm of the Host to win? I don't really know exactly how it works. You don't? Okay. Is Helm of the Host Modern legal? That's my next question. Because I also don't know that. Yes. So Godo is 6 mana win the game if your opponent doesn't have maybe I should have Blood Moon instead, but Moon doesn't do very much here. Because they have the Ragavan and the Delta. Hey, if they don't they can have blockers to block. Okay. Begin combat your turn. But they need a blocker that kills Godo in combat, right? It needs to be a blocker that actually trades with Godo. Blockers don't matter, but you gotta equip. Oh, I see. Because you get a new Godo each time. I see. That makes sense. Okay, I don't know. That actually doesn't seem like that crazy. It's a 1-card combo that wins the game if they don't have removal. It is 6 mana, but I do think 1-card 6 mana combo to win the game is not super unreasonable. It is kind of awkward in a Solitude format. We need to equip for free. Wait, doesn't Godo equip the card for free? It's 11 mana? Okay. Wait, I thought Godo equipped for free. It doesn't? It just puts it into play? Okay, well. Yeah, I agree. I think we're done here. I thought Godo was actually just 6 mana to win the game. Yeah, I think 11 mana is way too much. Great hands. Amazing hand. Wait, it needs haste also? Oh, come on, guys. Do Boros? Yeah. Boros for Sigardizade and Magmatic Theft, so we can turn this 1-card combo into a 3-card combo that costs 1 million mana instead of just playing Colossus Hammer instead of Godo. The token gets haste, yeah, but it doesn't win the turn it comes down. It's not good enough, chat. It was like maybe not good enough if it was actually 6 mana win the game. But it is. My opponent's multiply. We're probably gonna get this one. But it's like, yeah, why are we trying to go some of the host when we could just Sigard as a Colossus Hammer? To feel something, Spike. We're doing it so we can feel something. I put a mold to 5. I should probably just take this trade. I mean, I have to block Ragavan, kind of no matter what. Assuming they offer the trade, I guess. I think I like double 1-drop here. Can we rip their land for Blood Moon and just win? I mean, we're super ahead this game. I put a mold to 5. I have had a very good hand. We'll see what happens. I don't know that Blood Moon just wins the game. Here it actually just cuts my opponent off of Luris, Croxa, and their blue cards, which is good, but it doesn't say win the game on it either. Let's grab another sword here. Attack the champ. Why not attack the champion? I guess I should have. Yeah, sorry. The consideration is maybe Death Shadow there, though, but I probably was supposed to attack anyways. So I'll see if they pay for Sentinel first. You got a Fatal Push. A Shadow. Alright, thank you for your service, Esper Sentinel. I know this grows the Shadow. I think that's fine. They're like super dead if they attack next turn because I've got the Kaldra and stuff. I don't die to dress down here. I'm at 17. Did an early version of... Yeah, I've tried the Sunforger Fervent Champion lists, but the problem with Sunforger is it's pretty powerful, but you have to put 4 mana Morphos and like all of these like tutor targets for Fervent Champion or for Sunforger. It's like a huge part of your deck that powers it down. But it is pretty cool to Sunforger, draw 4 cards off mana Morphos, then cast something. Which it's neat for sure. Why not Kaldra first? Kaldra's gonna be more resilient going forward, if that makes sense. We're like, we get to draw a card here, we get to maybe hit our land drop. And like, I have a good attack with the Fervent Champion this turn if I sword. I don't have a good attack with the Fervent Champion next turn if I sword or Kaldra. But here it's like they might think that they can leave the Shadow back to block the Fervent Champ, but then I could just Kaldra them. Unless they do this. That being said, they can't really attack still. We draw another land. So I think I'm probably supposed to Ranger-Captain for another champion. And next turn I can equip this sword to the other champion. And have 2 lethal attackers. Potentially. They'll both have protection from that, assuming my opponent doesn't have dress down. I could sack the Ranger-Captain first. And drawing Prismatic Ending, I feel like this is just the line. So they've got Kolaghan's Command, but we win anyways. Kind of like the best card they could have here. Well fought, opponent. Well fought. But we've got a better hand. So this is our 3rd league in a row with Boros Stoneblade. We've been 3-0 all 3 times, losing at 3-0, losing last league at 4-0, and now we're 3-0 again. Great record on the day. Still trophyless for today though. Keepable hands on the Joggen Snow Companion. Not a great hand though. Fine though. Breeding Pool tapped is likely to be Rhinos. Rhinos is a pretty bad matchup, admittedly. We did beat it earlier. I don't believe there's an infinite combo with Sunforger. Just like you get to Manamorphose 4 times, draw 4 cards, and then do something. Well, not a lot to say besides attacking for 2 here. Definitely feeling like this is Rhinos. If they do Footfalls here, we get to draw 1 card. We get to ending a token as well. It's not great. It's an interesting draw, though. I kind of like putting the Maul on the Esper Sentinel here. Put the Maul on the Esper Sentinel. Pass. And then think about solituding one of the 2 Rhinos here or not. Okay, my opponent definitely has Force of Negation. Don't think I'm attacking. I think I will Solitude one of the Rhinos. I think I have another 5-drop to cast. I'm likely to draw some more cards off the Sentinel. I also have 4 damage of first strike here. So I could double block a Rhino if they have nothing. Yeah, we've talked about this a little bit. Like today, it's really not good value for me to play at 3-0 or 3-1. But we were talking about, me and Nasif were talking about the EV for playing at block like this because if they bounce the Maul, I get to kill the Starless Agent anyways. The EV for playing at 3-1 is about $70. You're playing for like, you know, sorry, not 70, 7. You're because it's like $10 in value, and you're like maybe very generously 70% to win. This is and in my opinion, like that 30 minutes of not playing for a trophy is like not worth it for not only my time but all your time, because you guys are all also invested in the race, and so spending 30 minutes watching a non-trophy match, I just don't think the value's there. Okay, so they're going for... Oh, they fucked up. They were supposed to destroy the Sentinel here, right? And then I guess they just would keep me off the Maul. Yeah, I guess maybe that was fine. That being said, I do get to ending a token, and then I've got 2 incarnations I can hard cast. My opponent looks like they are thinking about using their Force of Negation that we kind of pegged them on as having last turn. They do Force. They pitch a Brazen Borrower. Hopefully this is fine. You know, we do have Fury Solitude as follow-up. This is definitely not over. Gets in for 4. Attacks me down to 9. If I tap the Canyon, I go down to 8. Stomping Ground tapped. No play this turn for my opponent. Hardcast Fury, I think, first. Because if they go Violent Outburst, I can actually trade for a Rhino here, and then Solitude the other one. Oh, if they had Violent Outburst, they probably should have cast it on their turn to deal an extra damage. Opponent might have a Fury to trade for my Fury. We'll see. They have Violent Outburst. They have Borrower. So Borrower's pretty bad if they have a Fury. It's also really bad if they have Violent Outburst. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can beat this hand, probably, unfortunately. Trying to think if there's anything we could draw. How does Sword of Fire Ice look for us here? Probably not quite good enough. I guess I'm not dead on board. Yeah, I'm going to go Solitude, Exile, Borrower. Double block here with my double strike and my first striker. Chump block here. Go to 1. Right? Go to 1. I go to 2, and then I gain 3, take 2. Yeah, I go to 1. So my opponent has nothing. We're not in the worst shape. Don't have nothing. Rhino's deck's so good. Can you play like 1 Moon on the play? It's not really very good though. XLR Rhino. I think it's better to XL the Borrower because the flying creature is a big problem. Because I'm going to lose the Solitude when I jump block. I think it was the right line. Just didn't get there. Yeah, if Solitude had flying, then it was very easily XLing Rhino. Dead to the Fire Ice anyways. Yeah, Rhinos is a tough matchup. I think it is the worst matchup. It's either Belcher or Rhinos, considering that we have Deflecting Palm in the sideboard, though. I would probably rather play Belcher than Rhinos. That being said, double Ranger-Captain on the play is very good against them. This is a great hand. And they didn't have Gemstone Caverns this time. Why did I use Solitude on my turn to exile a Rhino? Why I didn't do that, so is your question, why didn't I do that? Because that was not the line I took. I think just cast Ragavan. Why does Fortune help this matchup? They have Fury in their deck. You want Fortune for Fury. And you know, Fire Ice, Bone Crusher Giant, dead gone. Are you talking about the turn I exiled the Rhino, like, are you talking about like turn, one of those earlier turns? Because that was a long time ago. When I picked them on force. I mean, I just needed to exile the Rhino so I wasn't taking that much damage. I definitely lose the game if I don't take that line. I don't know what the, like, why. Yeah, I lose the game if I don't take that line, so I took it. Okay, get some play to stop Fury. I think I'm just gonna get the other one. I could get Fervent Champion too, but just being like pretty well hedged against Fury is nice here. And I think I'm not gonna trade Ranger-Captain for Bone Crusher as well. No trophy today. Our last three leagues, including this one, have been 3-0. Lost at 3-0, lost at 4-0, and now we're 3-0 down a game. But could pull this one out. Opponent cannot sub Solitudes to prefer waiting until attack. Is there any drawback to waiting? I don't think it matters either way, man. I don't think it matters either way. My opponent's going to attack either way. Yeah, I could maybe poked in for one here. Probably maybe should have. Why Fortune over cast Sword? I'm a bit worried about like my opponent knowing that I have Sword of Feast and Famine and then being able to sequence their turn around it, if that makes sense. And with the sword, like if I equip it onto a Forge-Tender, I get to untap all my mana. So that's my thinking, is that I don't want my opponent to be able to sequence their turn knowing like this hit is happening. And it effectively costs me 0 mana, assuming my opponent doesn't have Artifact Destruction. If they have Artifact Destruction, it's not a good line for me anyways. Wow, what a draw. I have seen Boseiju, very good card. They discard Borrower, so their hand is stacked, unfortunately for us. I think I main phase this to play around Subtlety, which is a card they can have post board. I also blocked the Bone Crusher with Solitude, probably, if they attack with it. Why didn't they cast Spells or Cascade? I sacked Ranger-Captain in response, so they couldn't. That's why Ranger-Captain's so good in this matchup. They keep ending just for killing rhinos? Yeah, because like in this matchup, you usually have to fight through rhinos, and you can. You can a lot of the time, so just like an ending exiling one rhino is relevant enough. I also like have to cut the Blood Moons because they're not that good. And I don't have like much better options anyways. Now I get to draw a card, actually, right?
Hey.
Yeah, not a bad exchange. What's up?
Do you want lunch now that it's hot, while it's hot, or do you want it later?
Later.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's salmon, veggies, and rice, so it might not be good later.
I don't know. I just hate to eat on stream.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely not going to Forge-Tender to stop this. My opponent's also not going to pay. Okay, it's fine. Guess you grab a Sentinel so I can equip the sword to that post-combat. Get their last card out of their hand, too. Last card was another copy of Violent Outburst. Okay, we're in pretty good shape. You know, it looks like we're likely to get this game. Game's not over. We got the game. Still have to win game 3 on the draw, though. And then on the draw, I usually play the third ending over the first moon. Yeah, I do have Bose earbuds. They're like, they sound really good, but their battery life is not great, and they're also like really big in my ears. I have like the smallest bud size, but I still feel like they're too big. Ain't this deck missing some manlands? Well, manland's kind of a nombo with Blood Moon. We are playing Sunbaked Canyon as our utility land, though. Yeah, I think Giant Killer's a little too slow against rhinos. It's like, it mostly just kills a rhino, and it's like very slow to tutor it with Ranger-Captain. You could play it, it'd be fine, probably. I don't like this hand. I'm going to mulligan. This hand's worse, probably. Let's go to 5. My opponent kept 6. This is the best hand we've seen, though. I guess I put back Ragavan, Batterskull. Keeping the Batterskull might actually be correct, though. I probably just have to do this. Yeah, come on, Ragavan. I'm going to lead on Ragavan here. It's a pretty good draw. There are plenty. We've seen plenty of playable modern cards from the spoilers so far. A lot of promising options. Okay, rest in peace, Ragavan, I think. Not looking too good, chat. What makes you start with Ragavan versus Sentinel? When I'm on the Mold of 5 here, I need to take the highest upside play, which is Ragavan. Mini version Stoneblade, run Moon. I know I'm missing something, but seems underpowered in place of Prismatic or more Furies. These kind of Boros Stoneblade decks just fall apart if you can't interact with big mana decks. Like you just straight up lose without permanent base disruption. And the matchups are also like not that good if that permanent base disruption is not. I think I get Kaldra here, right? I could get a sword. I could get Sword of Feast and Famine and put on Fortune. I'm gonna get Kaldra. If that permanent base disruption is not meaningful interaction against like these linear decks, you just lose with no counter spells or discard spells. Dang it, so much removal. Tough to beat like the very removal heavy draw on the Mold of 5, especially when they get the 2-for-1 off the Prismari command. They discard a Footfall's Return. Fortune-Tender is a good card here at least. We also can hope our opponent is flooded. They're casting Bonecrusher Giant, which my Fortune-Tender blinks for now. Seems like their hand is probably not that good. I'll cast a Sentinel, I guess. Doesn't do that much. Well, the problem with Batterskull is it just trades with a Rhino, and then we die to the other one and or the agent. So I liked getting the Kaldra like as a way that we could actually beat them if they had any Cascade spell, which I obviously thought was likely that they would have at least one Cascade spell. What is in my opponent's hand? They didn't play a land last turn. They could have Force of Vigor, Force of Negation, Brazen Borrower. They drew a Cascade spell. Fuck. Yeah, that could be in the hand, Tom. Kaldra's easy blank by Petty Theft. I know. I know. Again, it's like Kaldra was good against my opponent having a Cascade spell and not removal. A sword was better against removal, still not that good to be honest. So the higher, and again, I tend to like to try to find the higher upside line when I'm on a mulligan to 5, which is where we were, and we're dead here, just actually dead on board. Yeah, so feels bad. I think I'm calling the stream here today. It's okay. We're allowed to have some bad days, and it's hard to even like feel like this is that bad of a day when we're like 3-1, 4-1, 3-1. Like we're definitely performing well. Just taking the L's, right? Interesting to see Rhinos on the uptick again. I feel like the deck's been kind of gone for forever. Yeah, the Boros deck's definitely been really good. Yeah, I'll probably have time for like a league or 2 off stream tonight, but I've got to work on some Channel Fireball stuff, and I have Pathfinder, so this may be a 0 trophy day.